All right. Hello, everybody. We are live. My name is Sarah Rosina. I'm your host tonight, and I have my good buddy here, Sean Blackshear. He's our co-host. Hey,
Hello.
yeah. We have a couple of guests on tonight. We have Kenethia Paris, if you want to say hello,
Hello, everybody.
and Benjamin Jones.
Try that again. What's going on?
Hey, look, it's all good. Look, this is boopers. Oh, but we are What's Your Take Media. We are a podcast and we critique and highlight movies. And we are based out of St. Louis. And so it was a privilege and an honor to be able to have our two guests on tonight. I'm actually going to, if you give me just a second, I'm going to actually pull up the flyer for the film that we're doing tonight. It's called A New Husband for Christmas. And it was made here in the good old Lou, here in St. Louis. Boom, bam, for those out there that don't know what's going on. All right, there we go. Okay. So we are actually, like I said, going to talk about A New Husband for Christmas. I believe you can watch it on Prime Video as well as Tubi. Am I right?
That's correct.
All right, awesome. So I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. We're gonna allow you guys to go ahead and introduce yourselves. Give us a little bit of your background as far as film is concerned. Sound good? Let's start with Kenethia.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Again, I'm Kenethia Paris, and St. Louis native. And as far as film, I actually started professionally acting in 2001, and actually started with plays, with stage plays. And first as an actress, actually very, very first as an understudy, then as an actress, then as an assistant director. And then I actually met Kyria, who is the founder of KMW Productions. We actually met in 2013. Actually, no, not 2013. We actually met probably in 2012. 2013 is when she founded the company. So we actually did insurance together. That's how we met. And there was an instant connection between me and Kyria. And yeah, it just felt like we've been knowing each other for years. So from the beginning, I was actually an actress in one of her plays, stage plays. So she'd have to tell you the story, but long story short, someone, actually a family member of hers, was a part of the play as well. And so we were backstage together. And I'm the type of person, I'm not, if I know, if I have an eye for something, and naturally and spiritually, I'm a teacher, which also lends over to directing. So before I actually became a director, I would have an eye backstage. I did stage manage as well. Sorry, I forgot that. Stage managing. So I see certain things, behind the scenes. And so another cast member actually went to Kyria and said, I don't know who that girl is backstage, but she's like, I don't know if this is your play or hers, because she's back there just running stuff. And that was the beginning of me becoming the director for KMW on the stage side. Just recently, so this is our second film for KMW Productions. Our first is The Wake Up Call, and A New Husband for Christmas is our second film. And so I assisted directing on both films. Derek Mullen is actually the director as well as the filmmaker for both movies as well. So I'm just excited. I'm just excited about the process. I've been there from the beginning. So to be here at this point, 7 years later, is just amazing. It's such a blessing to be here. And I just thank you guys for just having us.
Awesome.
You-
I
you
love
know-
it.
You know,
Did
Sarah,
huh? Go ahead.
I thank you for making the time, because I don't know if everybody was listening and taking tally, but what she said was she was an assistant director, actress / stage manager, a teacher, insurance agent, a real estate agent, and if you look at her background, a professional Christmas decorator. This woman's busy. She's my
yes.
new hero. She's busy. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
See, Sean, this is why I love that you're my co-host. I was just about to comment on that. I
See,
was like,
watch
oh my
out there now. Watch out there now.
so much juggling going on. I love it though. Multiple streams of income. It's beautiful. That's awesome.
Have to. You have to.
All right,
Love
let's go ahead. Ben, what you got for us? Tell us
Okay.
about it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I was trying to get Kenita's attention so I can go first, because hers is so dope.
No.
It's a little bit different.
No.
No, man. So in terms of acting, like we kind of talked about before, like this is like really the first opportunity that I had. It's always been a passion of mine. I've always just loved entertaining, encouraging, entertaining, inspiring for the kingdom, of course. And so this was a great opportunity for me to kind of see where I was, because initially, so I'm a producer, and the one of the main characters, Kelly, Kiana, she was working on some music in the studio, and her daughter was at the house, and her daughter was like, real quick story, her daughter was like, she came in the studio, she said, before we get started, can my daughter meet you? I was like, what? And because her daughter watches the skits, the YouTube things or whatever. And it was just so weird to even hear that. I was like, okay, like, cool. And so went out there and we did that. And so she was like, yeah, we love, she was like, we love your skits or whatever. And so we got done recording, and she was like, you have to audition for this part in this movie. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try just so I can see where I'm at. When you with your friends, you think you're like, man, we'll be cold in this movie, but but you really don't know. And so I wanted to just audition, and I was kind of expecting them to just do some really healthy critiquing, but it not be as successful as it was. But I was just like, wherever I was willing to work for it. So I took Kiana's advice. I went and auditioned, and I just met these amazing people like Kenita and the rest of the family. And that's it. That's where it all started. Not too long ago.
Wow. There
Let
you
me
go.
say this. Can I say one thing about James / Ben?
Mm.
That's
I'm
me.
like, who's James? though?
Right, James.
I'm sorry. I always stick to character names.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Ben.
yeah.
Let me say this, because just being on the other side of production, when we were actually auditioning, actually the day you came, I was actually ill and I wasn't at your audition, but I knew the character that we were looking for to fill James's role. And I, of course, Kyrie and I had discussed this prior to auditions, the type of person we were looking for. So when she talked to me about, she said, Kenita, you are not going to believe who was in audition. And seriously, no one else fits the role. She
Wow.
said, James walked into the audition today. She
Wow.
said, you will
Crazy.
not believe it. And I was just like, I can't wait to meet him.
That's
And
crazy.
everybody that's on here watching today, if you've seen the movie, you would not ever think that this was your first acting job, James / Ben. You would not at all. You blew it out the water. You did awesome.
Appreciate that. That means a lot. It means
Yes.
a lot. Especially coming from Kenita. I don't know if y'all know, Kenita is like, she run a real tight ship. So yeah.
I can actually
Good.
kind of see that.
I gathered. Yeah, I gathered.
Yeah,
Oh,
a strong administrative gift there. And I've been saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry, Kenita. My apologies.
No,
But yes, I definitely see a strong administrative thing going on with you, which is how you're able to balance everything. I mean, there it is.
Now there's one thing that James / Ben didn't touch on. He has a fantastic YouTube show. And just before our show, I got to check out something. He answered the age-old question that's on all of our minds, which is what happens if Chick-fil-A and Popeyes got into a rap battle? And when I was in tears before the show started. It is hilarious. Please watch it. Watch it.
Go watch. Go follow.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So that YouTube is Benjamin Jones Global. It's all together. It's one long, what'd you call it? A run on Sean?
There it is.
You can find him on YouTube. You will not regret it. You're gonna love it. He's hilarious.
Yes.
So yes. So you brought Derek Mullen already, just a tad. So I want to touch on Derek just a little bit. He's the director of the film.
Yes.
And you said, so the first movie you guys did together was the Wake Up Call movie. And
Yes.
if one of y'all give us just a brief synopsis of what the Wake Up Call movie is about.
Absolutely. So the Wake Up Call is about a couple that the wife is, okay.
It's all good. Spoiler alert, they know.
The wife is raised in the church. She's raised in church, and she met a guy, fell head over heels. They fell head over heels for each other. However, he wasn't brought up in the church. And so just their journey, and their journey individually and together, basically finding their way and determining or finding out if in the end they were still going to be found together or finding their way independently. And so there was a wake-up call, and there was so I'm not trying to give it away. There was a huge wake-up call for the both of them. I would just say that. Okay. And there's definitely a message, just like in A New Husband for Christmas. That's what KMW is about just giving hope, to real situations that we go through. And some of us in our real lives, we need wake-up calls every now and then, just to keep us on the track we need to be on and that God has, planned out for us. And so that's life. Wake Up Call. Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Yes. And how can we watch the Wake Up Call?
YouTube.
All right.
Yes.
There's another YouTube channel you guys need to follow. I see someone is typing, hey.
So yeah, if they just follow KMW Productions on all platforms, yes, YouTube, they'll find the Wake Up Call.
Awesome.
I'm
actually
Sarah,
going to check that out.
We got a comment from Miss Mona Lisa Hayes. Says, I just love all the press attention and accolades everyone in this movie are getting. All praise, glory, and honor to God.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got a fan. There you go. We got a fan. Love it.
I just love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Derek directed that movie, and it sounds like it's a team going right now. It's a team, and so that was your first project.
Yes, and actually, all three of us started in insurance. Derek, Kyria, and myself. That's where we met, in insurance. All three of us, and so yeah. So first doing the stage plays, and then God just already had a gift, obviously, inside of Derek, and he just initially picked up his iPhone.
Hey, yeah, start some.
Initially picked up the iPhone and was like, "Okay, we're on to something here," and that's literally how it all started.
This is very inspiring for those of us that are have visions and things that we want to do. It's humble beginnings. You got to start somewhere, right? I just love that. And so he directed that film, and then he also directed this film. I have to say, for somebody that's a connoisseur, talking about myself of movies and television, I was very impressed. just like, screenshots and how the camera movement, you pick up on that stuff. And I just love, that boom mic that you have up there so people, hear you. I just love that I didn't see that at all. You guys are laughing, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen a TV show or a movie, whether it's some old or new, and I'll see that boom mic. I'm like, who edited this?
Seriously.
Now let me ask, who did the score? Because when this movie came on, you got it sounded like old sitcom movies. I mean, as soon as I heard, I just started to smile. And a whole, wide angle shot of St. Louis. So who was behind that?
Derek Mullen.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's from Atlanta, and his production company is Mullen Group Productions. So Mullen Group.
Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did. It was wow. He showed St. Louis. It made me wish I can go outside.
I know, right?
Really did. It really. I was watching it with my wife, like, oh, there's the aquarium. Oh no,
I know, right?
There's the Ferris wheel. Oh God.
Oh my goodness.
Beautifully shown, St. Louis.
It really was.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And
it definitely made you be proud of St. Louis.
Sure.
Yeah, it did. Really did.
And speaking of which, I have to applaud you all. See, this is what I just have to say. This is why I love the kingdom. Real kingdom people. And this is what I'm going to tell you why. We really support each other. You know what I'm saying? Like even now, we've been throwing out YouTube. Go, you follow that. You better follow that. And I really loved how you guys manifested that in the film. So just gonna throw out a few things that I saw in the film. I saw a lot of St. Louis entrepreneurships going on.
Yes.
So I saw Nettie Kelly Cosmetics in Water Street. And I mean, you guys clear as day were like, yeah, this is Nettie Kelly. I saw that.
Right.
I was like, okay. And I saw
Sweet Spirit.
Styles with Kawana Watt.
Kawana, yes.
Saying the names right tonight. And then, of course, the St. Louis Will Union Station Aquarium and Lowe's Cafe and Entertainment. So I have a quick question about something. So with you all putting those in your shots, mainly I'm looking at the St. Louis Will Union Station Aquarium with your director background. Did you guys have to get a permit or how did that go about?
So we do have to get permission, permits, etc. to film on locations. Absolutely. But one thing about two of the businesses that you named have their family. So I'm going to start with Kawana because she is our stylist. She is our stylist pretty much for everything. Yeah. So she actually styled us in the film, The Wake Up Call. She was our stylist. So she styled in A New Husband for Christmas. She styled all the women as well as the men, main characters. She styled all of us. So everything that you see fashion-wise, that's her work. As well as The Wake Up Call, she styled the women in that film as well. So she's very, and then I'm sorry. So she was very instrumental even doing when we were doing plays as well. So Kawana is family. She's been with us for years, and she's definitely a staple with KW. Nettie Kelly has become family as well. Her and her husband Gary, and they were very, very, very sweet and opened their doors and gave us permission to film there as well. And yes, we definitely just appreciate the small businesses, the entrepreneurs in the city being able to be a part of the film and being able to establish relationships with them even after the film. So
yes, I love that you said that keyword relationship. I love that.
Absolutely.
That's right. Nice.
It was something else I was gonna say that you had said. I'll come back to it. Okay, so if it's all right with y'all, we're gonna move on into the film. All right.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit about your the characters. What did it take? What was the mindset? How'd you get in the character?
So yeah, okay. So with my character, with James, I thought James was interesting. So I was actually in my house before I even auditioned, and I was just reading through the characters. And the character James was the one that resonated the most because this is a guy who like loves his wife, loves his daughter. He just loves his family. He loves his friends, and he has this leadership mentality where he wants everybody to win.
Mm-hmm.
So when I read that, I was like, I said, this is me, because at the time, of course, I'm married, and my wife was pregnant with my daughter at the time, and so it was just like, this is gonna be easy to be into because I can really get behind this character, and so it wasn't that hard for me at all.
There you go. Now, can you cook turkey too?
Right.
Did you say a turkey sandwich? I thought I heard sandwich. No, I don't get out like that.
There you go. Okay.
So that was
Trey.
Trey.
That's Trey.
That was Trey Williams, Karia's husband.
Oh, that was Trey. Okay. There we go. Okay.
And he was down. He throws down in the kitchen.
Okay.
Turkey was real too.
There you go. Was it?
Real
And
smell.
Okay.
Real
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we tore that turkey up for real.
I got
We weren't invited to the casting party for the turkey.
Right.
Next time.
So my on taking of the role, Susan, was a little untraditional in the fact that so of course assistant director. However, the first day of filming was when I had to take on the role of Susan.
Oh,
Right.
Wow.
So this was not planned. I had to, at the last minute, I had to, literally hours before we started shooting that day, I had to take on that role.
we couldn't tell.
So the good thing is I knew the role. But I had to just be ready. Be ready in season and out of season. So that was one of those moments.
Yeah.
Kenitra, you killed that role too. I don't know if I ever told you. You killed that role. Seriously.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wait to launch and adjust.
Yeah.
You said what? You said what?
Wait to launch and adjust. I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I had fun in the role. Definitely enjoyed playing Susan.
Oh man, that well, I'm sure we'll get to it, but that scene where you are with the marriage counselor.
Yeah, I knew you were
Oh,
going
yes.
to say that.
Oh yes, we're definitely going to talk about that.
That was it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
She rubbing her hands. Oh, she ready?
Right. I love that scene though. That was a great scene. There were so many powerful scenes, but that was definitely one.
That's my favorite scene.
I really enjoyed it. All righty. Okay, so you gave us background on that. Okay, so we kind of we know how the film opened up. A beautiful display of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And we had that beautiful scoring. I love movie scores, by the way. So I was eating it up. And I even like. I like what you have.
I was gonna say the song in the beginning was actually one of our lead cast member, Kiana.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was her and her sister singing.
Okay.
I just love there's just so much gifting going on in this one movie.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And Tamika, Ben's wife in the film sang one of the other songs, the I Believe song, which we also have the video too. Did you guys see that?
I don't think we saw the video.
I don't think
You have to see that.
Gotta see that.
You have to see that.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Kathy Ory wrote that song, but Tamika sang the song and sort of. But that's in the film too. It's in the film. So
I'm like, which scene was that?
help me, Ben. It was the one where they were shown, actually the two lead characters were shown at the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
The song that was playing under there, that's her
Yeah.
song. That's
I love that. That was
Yeah.
a good song. Yes.
Yes.
It was all sweet and cute. I was like, oh, look at them. This is the beginning stages. Yeah.
And then let me do one thing and just also mention my guy, Ryan Coleman, Red Coated Music. Like they recorded some of the music, not all of it, but some of the music was actually done at his studio.
Yes.
So that's Ryan Coleman, Red Coated Music. That dude is insane.
Wait,
Yes.
I think I know him.
Think about it. Think.
Is he light skinned?
Mm-hmm.
He married?
Mm-hmm.
I know
no,
Ryan.
So look, yeah, so
Hey, look.
Kiana's sister, who's Kelly in the movie, is his wife. And so they all just some beasts. They crazy. Tiny.
They all, yeah.
Wow.
Music or on all the platforms. You can
All
find it.
platforms.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta check
Please
that
check
out.
them.
Make sure we get that in the comments for the people. Okay. I just love it.
Oh, man.
I'm overwhelmed. It's just so much. Lord help us.
We trying to look, we trying to show all St. Louis. We trying to show everybody.
Right?
Wow.
I absolutely love it. I think one of the things I love most about all of this, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I just really because I've always been a person that loved movies. And I've done a little acting, like some stage plays that we had at our church or whatever too. But I've always been like, we've got Hollywood and New York and all these great places where, people are like, oh, and Atlanta now because Tyler Perry. I was like, why can't we have a studio in St. Louis? I mean, what's wrong with that? Let's do it. So for you guys to do this, I'm just like, yes, see the vision,
Amazing.
produce the vision. I just love it. Awesome. Okay, so I'm trying to think of, okay. So it was a few things in this movie that just hit me pow or whatnot. And so basically we're looking at Kelly and Stan's marriage as like kind of the forefront. Now, there were a lot of different dynamics. I mean, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of different dynamics. But even if you go to IMDb and look at the synopsis, you're going to see that. But there were a lot of different dynamics or whatnot as far as couples are concerned.
Yes.
But it looks like we were really bringing out Kelly and Stan. And I see why or whatnot. And so just so the audience knows, so Kelly is, she's a Christian. She's a believer. And she's been married to Stan, I think it was about 7 years.
7 years.
But when they got married, she wasn't a saved woman. So they came into a marriage both unsaved. Okay.
Correct.
But along the line, she got saved. Okay. And as you know, with people that we are of the word and we're believers and whatnot, wanting to live according to the word is that thing of being unequally yoked or whatnot. And so I'm telling you, I just love this because y'all just don't understand this situation right here has just been all around me lately. And I'm just like, this is very interesting. But, looking at them, many would have said, and we see it in the film, to be like, oh, girl, please, you need to let that go. You saved now. But, I really love how y'all highlighted that, So this is what I saw. This was my take as far as their relationship in the beginning. So I saw Kelly as a person. She became a believer within the marriage, but her husband, he didn't quite do it. He still wanted to live the way he wanted to live.
Yeah.
And there was a foundation that I believe that she might have had at one time, but because of, I guess, the way things were going between the two of them, she lost sight of it just a little bit. And I mean that by saying, I see she was definitely a person that was a person of prayer. Which, we can't move anything without prayer. Like we ain't even doing it, it's God doing it or whatnot.
Right.
And so I saw a transition happen, actually, because I watched it twice and I saw it the second time. I was like, well, I see this the first time. But I saw it just more, a little bit more stronger the second time. And so the transition I saw was, she was just like, man, I want a new husband. That was her Christmas prayer or whatnot. I would say Christmas prayer. Because I'm gonna pull something out at the very end of this that I saw. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is so good. I love how y'all captured this. But she made a transition when she had an encounter with, I'm gonna call it a heavenly host. That's how I perceived it.
Okay.
which was the lady in white. I'm
Yeah.
like, of course she's in white. I love how you did that. She's like an angel.
And she had the best accent ever.
She sure did. I was like, I just love it. And from there, it made me think of scripture when even with Mary, and before she had Jesus, the Lord sent a heavenly host to her to reveal that to her. So I'm like, this is what the Lord does. He does this to us. It's just grace and just favor. And so it was like once that happened, I could see her whole demeanor change. Like she was like, it was a thing of, for me, it was a thing of coming out of religion and going into kingdom. So now I'm not just talking about the word. Now I'm actually living and applying the word. And I
Sarah,
just
don't get nothing started, Sarah.
Mhm, there you go.
I just
Come
grabbed
on
my
now.
notepad over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But y'all, I'm just saying, first of all, I just want to applaud y'all for, I'm going to say the Lion of Judah, just the courage to even make this film and put it out there.
Really?
I mean, this mug was just, what I will say, it was just swimming in word. It was just swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the on the same line. So when I first watched the movie, I was like, oh, I ain't gonna like this. It's talking about I need a new husband for Christmas. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be beating up on men. So I'm gonna go and watch it though. But it was a marriage counseling session. It was beautiful. I mean, I've been married to my darling wife for 7 years, and we've been through marriage counseling. And when I say almost, every situation that was in that movie outside of the infidelity, we've been through almost every single one of them. And when you go to a counselor, they will always tell you, some of the same things that you all said in the movies. And you got to be careful who you're talking to. You can't. Hey, sometimes the people closest to you, you know what I mean? And I was just sitting watching the movie, blown away. We paused that movie almost on every scripture that y'all said. So my wife and I was watching, like, wait, First Peter 3, and we would stop it and actually discuss, what we saw and what we thought. And then it was interesting, the switch, because I came into the movie thinking it was Stan, right? Kelly and Stan,
yes.
that he was a victim in all this, because the first scene, Kelly walked on in the wild. He's like, hey, baby, you look good. I don't need you to tell me I look good.
He's like, I know.
I'm like, post Stan. Post Stan.
That's true.
But to see her change, and then one of the other things that I caught in the beginning, now, before what I do now, I was in management for a long time. When I was watching Kelly, when she had her employee, and an employee came in, how she gonna say I ain't got a day off? Hold on. Hey, I am the office manager. You're the supervisor.
Right.
Let's go and make this happen. And then to see her transition as not only as a woman of God for her house as a wife, but she even took it to work. I was like, oh, they just
that's awesome.
Corner. They hit every corner.
That's
corner.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that was fantastic.
And I just want to say real quick too, like, just from my perspective in the movie, Kenitha, Derek, and Kyria, like, committed to the kingdom. Like, here they are, like, they're trying to push their movies and their ideas and their dreams. And if you know anything about the entertainment industry, for the most part, even if you may have good intentions, for the right opportunity, you could compromise. And that's what happens a lot of times, But I mean, just learning from them. I mean, Kyria talked about it all the time. She was just like, she even encouraged me. She's like, I feel like you have something. Like, you just seem like you're a natural. She said, always do it for the kingdom. Right? And it's just like, I appreciate that so much from all of them. Like, these are talented people who may have had to turn down some opportunities just because it wasn't serving the kingdom. And I mean, who can't get behind that? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's so inspiring. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, and I know, Sarah, we were talking about what single versus married, get out of it. One of the other big scenes in the movie was when all the fellas were together and they went out. And one of the things that got me, that I hear a lot is that, what do you mean you got a happy marriage? Yeah, there's no such thing in happy marriage. And it's such the norm right now, divorce and happy wife, happy life, the heck with the man. You know what I mean? It's such the norm. And this movie just went and dispelled all of it. Everybody can be happy. And I just loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yes.
Were you gonna say something, Kenitha?
Yeah, I was just going to touch on something that you said, Sarah. You were saying, well, both of you guys just brought out basically the transition. And it's good to actually get this feedback just from where I sit from it, because that is what we want. And I know Kyrie is not present, but this is everything that she would want for an audience to be able to pick up, because God dropped every single thing that you see in that movie in her spirit, and told her specifically what to write, what topics to touch on, how to touch on them, and how to bring it across to where it would be reachable to everybody, not only to married couples, but also single, people as well. And that you saw that transition, that you guys are seeing the things, that was the purpose, so that's awesome, because like you said, you saw her go from religion, and you said kingdom, but I'm going to add something to that: religion to relationship, which takes her to the kingdom. Because you have to know, and even for the guys, like specifically though for Kelly and Stan, that relationship that you're going to establish with God is going to then show you how to establish one with your spouse, with your other half. So that is key, and definitely was one of the key points, key purposes of the movie,
Yes, I absolutely loved it. And since you're talking about that, I think one of the best transitions that I saw was the scene where Kelly, Stan had came to her work, and he basically was like, "Hey babe, let's go out tonight." And she was like, "Oh no, I gotta go to the church." Man, y'all brought out so much stuff in this movie. It's real life. And
that was huge, huh?
Yes, and then you had the radio snapshots, where you were bringing out the word even more there, and you broke that down like she was on listening to. See, that's what the Lord does, though. If you are a prayerful person,
yes,
He will give you those.
He will speak.
My pastor, she said, it calls them billboards. He'll give you those billboards if you just have your ear open. He gonna show you. He gonna give it to you. And so she confirmed it on the radio. Ministry first is at home. And so she immediately, and you know what? That's what I love too. It showed her submission. Like it didn't take her nothing. She ran after her husband. She's like, "Oh no, maybe not."
Right. That was her wake up call.
Hey. What were you gonna say, Sean?
No, I wasn't. I was just listening. I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I thought you
yeah.
But I loved how because before you saw, like Sean was saying at the beginning of the movie, he thought it was going to be different, the correlation, because she walked out the door. She didn't even say bye. She did just nothing. But, I think she maybe had got to just a little bit of bitterness in her heart, just a little bit, just a tad, because of just what had been dealt her. And this is what happens. I'm human. It happened to me. I mean, it is what it is.
Real life.
Right, real life. But thank the Lord for his graces, for his favor, that she was able to, she saw error in her ways. That's one thing that the heavenly host pointed out to her I thought was so powerful, because her mom, bless her heart, there were some hilarious characters in this film.
Ooh, I was so mad at her mama.
Hilarious. She's like, "Girl, you better put that holy all over the house, and you better buy them demons." See, that's the first thing we want to do. We all never want to take a look at ourselves.
Come on.
And I love that.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Nice.
Because when you get through slinging oil, it's some action.
That's what
you have to put behind it. You have to put some action in. You have to self-reflection plus action.
There we go.
100.
Yeah.
Hey, out on Facebook, I don't know if you guys know this person, but we got a Miss Kyra Playwright Williams. She's saying that I love you
Beep,
guys.
beep, 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 beep.
You're getting everything out of the film, everything we intended for it. That's awesome. And
Yes.
then we got Miss Skites out here. She's asking, who was the pastor on the radio?
Oh, yeah, who was that? She was fantastic. The lady
Oh,
She was,
I'm sorry. So the minister, let me first mention Kyria. That was Kyria.
that's right.
Kyria Playwright Williams, that's the
Yep.
writer of the movie.
Yep.
And the minister is Minister Norton, is her character, but Miss Tamara Glenn is her name. And she actually is a minister. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good wisdom nuggets. Some good wisdom nuggets.
Yes.
He's dropping it.
I don't know if I want to jump to this part yet, but it just blessed me when I found out at the end who she was married to. Oh man, I love her.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take it.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah. You know what was so there was a piece of the movie I got convicted by, and we'll talk about that a little later. But there was a piece that was so familiar because in marriage counseling, the pastor used to tell me in my own private sessions, you need to pray for your wife to have a woman of God come into her life and speak to her from a womanly place.
Wisdom.
And I'll be darned, I did that, and a woman of God came into her life, and that changed, some of the dynamics of the marriage. And I'm like, well, dang, after watching this and seeing Gary, I'm like, man, I need to pray for myself now. I need to go.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful awesome. Because I feel like on both ends of a relationship, it's so important to have positive people that are full of godly wisdom, that you can trust and that you can pull from. But even out of all the wisdom that you can obtain from any person that's in your quote unquote circle, seek the wisdom from God himself. Of course. However, God knows that we do rely on our circle. So again, like you said, Sean, it's important to have those people around us that are going to pour the correct things into us, because we can listen to some stuff.
Oh yeah.
And some people have some stuff to say.
Lots of it.
So if we're not working on that relationship, that vertical relationship between us and God, that allows for us, that will tell us who we need to seek and who we can listen to and who we can't listen to.
Wow.
Definitely down the wrong path.
All right.
Go, preacher. No.
Wow, there it go right there.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's so
real.
deep.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Oh wow. Okay, so I want to talk about Renee for just a second, the coworker. Woo! I tell you, it's all types. Y'all covered all types in this film. I just loved it. I could just see the people. I was like, oh yes, that be going on, and that person that be going on. So whoever played, she was hilarious.
She was funny.
That scene, she's hilarious in real life.
I can tell that though. I feel like
in between the scenes, she was hilarious.
Really?
We need outtakes. I need some outtakes.
That's my girl.
Make a blooper reel. Here's with Derek out there. Make a blooper reel for us.
Right. But, we have.
But that was another transition that I liked. Like she kind of came in and she asked Kelly, "Hey, I'm trying to get this time off. I need you to go and hook me up. Hook your girl up." That's how that be. Hook your girl up. And then she went on and did it for her. But then later on, when she tried to come at her with that, she was like, "No, I'm trying to do better."
Right.
She was in love. She wasn't all mean. I was like, "Nah, I ain't finna. Nah, I'm good." She was like, "I'm trying to live my life, in a better way." And then she didn't receive it quite well that first time.
No.
That's how it is. That's why we can't look to people.
Like you know what else? What else got me about her was, sometimes, we don't want what's good for us. And when they was in there talking to her about the nice boy that was trying to get with her, she's like, "Oh no, he nice. You got to watch them nice ones."
Talk about it.
That's right. Benjamin, we mean you probably lived that life.
Come on, brother. Talk about it. Yes, sir.
So yes,
Nice.
I really loved her.
Yeah, they hit. I mean, it was so many aspects in that film that were brought to the table. Like it was something for everybody to be ministered to be built up, to actually be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether you're in being single or being married. And I mean, even in my marriage, it's just like it was just so many things where it was just like just reaffirming and encouraging and just the reality of marriage. Because when you're in church, you can pretty much put on a front for anything, because the choir don't follow you home. If you preach, the people don't follow you home. But that marriage, like your wife, your husband, like this is something that, I have to live with you. You're going to see me when the mask is on, when the mask is off, and so it really does take an introspective look. You got to really look at yourself and really realize like, man, this has to be done. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people in churchdom don't know this,
That's
it's
real.
like, we want to, let's say if there is a problem in our marriage, we want to change that problem with our mouth to our spouse, like fix that, as opposed to trusting God that he gonna do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna still love my spouse, I'm gonna still serve my spouse, and I'm gonna take this to the prayer closet and let God work it out. We ain't got faith built up for that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of those transitions that you're seeing with Kelly in the film, where she was just like, she took her hands off of it, and let God kind of do it. And it always works out when you let God do it. And we make it worse if we do, so
Yeah,
that was something that was really brought out well.
Yes, that was brought out very well. And one thing even that I want to touch on right there, I know as human beings, just as without God, just human beings, we have fantasies and dreams, if you will, of perfection, if you will. And so especially I know when it comes to relationships, and I can even just talk about myself, I've always been what they call a hopeless romantic, but I've changed that language to a hopeful romantic. And so even with saying that, one thing that I love that y'all really brought out and that people need to know is that things are possible with prayer. And we saw that. And some people might, they still might be like, oh, that wouldn't happen. And which we saw those characters in the film itself. But as far as just Kelly's prayer was to have a new husband, right, for Christmas. And she got just that. He got a new husband in Christ, a new creature. I thought I was going to say it to the end, but I got there today. I was like, yes, the Lord, that's what we got. And these things are possible if, in your example was shown through her, she started applying the word, she started living the word, even though her husband was over here, she was living for God. Now, this is her husband, but yet he's God's man. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we tend to take that ownership thing, which we're not supposed to do, cover and all that. But anyway, I just love how y'all brought that out. Prayer really does work. Like even with those naysayers, you just don't know how the others, her friends around, all of them were blessed by that too. Like they saw the journey, I'm just not doing it.
And you know what? One thing, and Benjamin, if you can touch on this one, when my wife and I were talking about how she was like, well, how come, I can tell, women, we can tell you men things, but y'all act like y'all don't get it to another man tell you. Because, she was trying to get him to read the book and everything else. And then Gary talked to him at lunch, a cold lunch. And he's like, hey, you're right. I'm going to go and read this real quick. Right. So my response to it was, iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? So what were they trying to go for with that, Mr. Benjamin?
Oh, I got to bring out that book once you get done. I'm sorry. We got to bring up that book.
No, yeah. Yeah, no, I think it is. I think it's kind of what we kind of been talking about the whole time, where it's just like, we have to, in terms of Kelly, we have to let go of the situation and let God do what he does. You know what I mean? Because God knows who is going to get to the person that needs to be got to. God can use anybody. And so here is this person if you remember, like in the little break room, totally unassuming person to be the one ministering, right?
Right.
And Sarah just talked about those billboards, right? sometimes you're in your relationship and that you really can't hear it from certain things. You can't hear from your spouse because maybe you've heard it so much, or maybe because for whatever reason, you know, it could be a million reasons, and you need a fresh perspective. Sometimes you need something where, if you're talking to your spouse, I'm already prepared for what you're about to say.
Mhm.
So I'm not even trying to hear you. I got a rebuttal waiting when you get that talk.
I got the script.
Right. As soon as you
That's
take a breath, I got that
That's
rebuttal waiting for you.
That's right. That's right.
And then, and so in other situations, you know, your guard is down. And so they were, if you remember the guys, they were actually kind of intimidated by the guy, right? And so he came over and totally unassuming, caught Stan totally off guard. And I think that was the end right there. Guy had already been working on Stan's heart. And then that was just an overflow of what God was doing in that moment right there. It was at the perfect time. And it's God's time, man. It's God's time.
There you go.
Yep.
All the time. Love it.
And something you guys you brought out being also you were just saying, like, within a relationship, you're so quick to point out what is bothersome or what you want to change in that other person, but that's not even how you obtain the change. You obtain the change by identifying what you need to work on. And each of them did that. You saw Kelly start to internalize with the help of her angel. You saw her start to begin to work on her with the help of Gary. You saw Stan, through God, begin to work on him. And that's how you saw the overall transition. It's not about pointing the finger. It's about looking in the mirror.
See,
there you go.
Self-checking.
There goes your teaching coming out.
Yeah, right. Look,
Ellie.
look, it's you, it's you. But one thing, Ben, you said this a couple times, but one thing that you were saying was Kelly, she basically made the decision to put it in God's hands, so to take it out of her own. And so what was powerfully displayed in this film with you saying that was because I remember she was trying to make him read the book with her. You know, she was trying to make him, no, you need to go on and serve God. You need to go. No, that's you doing that. No, he got to be able to submit to do it for himself. But it was like soon as she took her hands off, the Lord he already had a plan. And so for him to come into divine connection with that man who had the book or whatnot, it was crazy. Only God could do that. And so from there, he was in this place where he was able to read the book on his own and make the decision to submit on his own and make the decision to submit God on his own. I just left it. She didn't have to do that. I was doing it. I didn't
you know, well, one of the scenes in there, y'all got to tell me how that went, because I just envisioned y'all just had so much fun making that the friendship dinner scene when y'all was playing that game.
Friendsgiving.
Oh my God. But I was sitting watching the game. I'm like, I cannot wait to COVID. That's the first thing I'm doing when COVID's over. I'm flying all my married friends here, and we're gonna play that game.
That was funny. It was great.
It was a lot of fun filming that thing.
Is that right?
Oh my gosh.
It was fun. It was also challenging. Like that was a scene where just for whatever reason, it was so much interaction. And that was just one of those nights where we were just really having to pull together and do retake after retake just to get it right.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that was actually a night where I just believe as a whole, just the entire cast, we all came together and really had each other's back, just helping each other out. So I'm glad that it really showed the way it did. But, you know, that was one of the scenes where we really had to dig deep as well.
Yes.
You know, this film, it just came back to me. It was on here. I was like, I got to look this up real quick. This film was reminiscent of another film, not to the T, but it made me think of this movie. This is actually one of my all-time favorite Christian films. It's called Fireproof. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's Kirk Cameron's film. And this made me think. So if y'all familiar with Fireproof, he basically, he was having trouble in his marriage. And his father gave him this, it was like a diary. It was called The Love Dare, to reignite the love. And basically it was just applying scripture pretty much,
Mhm.
Yeah.
introducing prayer pretty much into
Yes.
their union. Man, I just love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all show made me think of Fireproof. I was like, man, I need to watch that again.
Yeah, that was a really good movie as well.
Yes.
It was. It was. And Susan was needed because her friends got to tripping. Soon Stan walk out, like Stan gone. Oh, you need him. No, I mean, it was just camera angles going from different friends talking about how he wasn't nothing. She was like, oh no. Yeah, you kind of
You gotta get them in check.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right. Just need a little conviction smacked on the head. And that's what Susan did. I'm like, all right. Susan, I see you.
Yeah.
Susan was a real friend.
She really was. She
Oh
really
yes.
was.
Was that your
Yeah.
character?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm just making sure. I was making sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, since we're there, the scene where you had with your husband, meeting with the, I guess, pastor or whatnot.
Woo!
A counseling scene. Yes.
Yes, I just have to touch on this real quick. Well, two things. The first thing was you guys talked about, I know Sean talked about it and you, Kenitha, talked about it, basically praying or having somebody come alongside you to sharpen your iron.
Absolutely.
And I love how Kelly's character is like, boy, the Lord's plans. I just love it. I just love, like, it was like as soon as she basically got in alignment, then she was able to pour into that friend. But if she had come at another time, it probably wouldn't have went that way, and you might have ended up getting divorced. I'm just saying. See, just how you know, you just never know what your call and what your submission is going to be for somebody else.
That's right.
Right now, I just love it. But the scene in the office, we got to talk about this because this is a thing. This is a big thing for women in general, and just women of God. We have this certain way that we present ourselves, when we're single or whatnot. We make up, we dress real nice, put on our spray goods. We do all that real good and real nice. But then when we get married, some of us, I'm not going to say I'm not married, but I'm just saying in general, you know what I'm talking about, Kenitha. You get married and you lose yourself. Like, what happens? And I love how y'all brought that out. Y'all in the office. He was like, well, you get all dosed up basically when you go out. But then when we at home, you got this thing on your head. I forgot what he said. It was hilarious.
Yeah, he said I look like
a helmet.
Let me remind you. He said I look like a linebacker.
He did.
Right is.
That? Oh, my goodness. So, I mean, it was from both sides. There were things that they needed to work on. But I'm glad that y'all brought that out. That is an issue that you have to discuss. Yes, go ahead, Sean.
It was so that gave me my conviction, and it also gave me one of the biggest chuckles I had in the movie. I mean, the preacher said hello, and almost like the second word out of Susan's mouth was, yeah, and he cheated. I was dying.
But he did.
She's like, this is really why we're here. So I was dying. And the conviction part came from that. So I know you just said it for the women, but I was just thinking about it, myself. My wife is glamour shots gorgeous all the time to me. And I look like a mountain man every day except for what's the name, Lindsay? Right. So I mean, like the beard, I got everything. But like an hour before the show, I'm like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I need to stay pretty for my wife. So I thank you all for that, for the movie. Thank you for the conviction. Men stay pretty all the time. I love it.
Thank you, Sean. I like that though. It's two. It takes over.
That's a good thought. That's a good thought.
That's right. That is a good thought because we only think about it from the woman's perspective, and the woman needs to, keep it together, But you're right. Thank you, Sean, for that. The men needs to have to equally.
That's right.
Conscious.
Yeah, we got to be pretty. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus help. Yes, I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the book. I brought it up earlier, but if one of y'all what is this book? How can we get this book? I know it's a real book. And then I know to go along with that, doesn't Kyra have and her husband have a ministry or a coaching thing with marriage? One of y'all just jump in there.
Yes. So the book that is talked about in the film is Are You Really His Good Thing? And that was written also by Kyria Williams as well as Chrissy Appleby. And so you can find that you definitely can search for Kyria Williams on all social media platforms. You will also find information about the book on KMW's site as well. And you asked about one more thing and I just forgot. You told me to tell. Oh, yes, they do Marriage Monday. I'm sorry, Marriage Matters on Mondays, every Monday. So you can find Kyria and Trey Williams. They do Marriage Matters Mondays every Monday on Instagram. So you can again follow her, Kyria Williams. And you'll be able to, they actually do an interview with another married couple every Monday evening. And including celebrity couples. So follow.
Wow, okay.
Awesome. I love
Wisdom,
it.
nuggets of wisdom for married couples. Absolutely.
I'm telling you, that's something I had in my notes too. It was a lot of wisdom concerning marriage. And I saw a lot of that from Minister Norton on the radio. On the radio.
And I definitely, while we're touching on that wisdom and nuggets that you did receive from the movie, again, I feel like I'm my sister's keeper, because Kyria in every interview will definitely let you know where those nuggets came from, which is her pastor, Raymond Ori, Pastor Raymond D. Ori, pastor of Ark of Safety Christian Church in St. Charles. So definitely everything that you receive as far as the messages are directly from his teaching. Absolutely.
Yeah, I see Kyria got
Pastor Ori.
What'd you say?
I just said Pastor Ori is awesome.
Yes.
Follow Ark of Safety.
The Marriage Cup and Covenant. She posted out here by Pastor Raymond Harris. So that's
Ori.
There you go. Watch out there now. Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah,
I got you.
We're gonna have to pick that up. We're gonna pick that up.
Oh, and that was the other book that was that Stan actually read, was The Marriage Cup, that was written by Pastor Ori.
The Marriage Cup.
And the Covenant. Yes. Marriage Cup and the Covenant.
In the Covenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna check that out.
Yeah,
go see what's in the cup.
That's right.
Yes, so that you can pour into your spouse.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You are a marketing genius. You know that, Ms. Harris?
I know, right?
It's trying to be a marketing genius, but hey.
Stuff in the comments. Everybody getting put out tonight. We supporting everybody. Everybody getting lifted up.
He said in the top of this show that we are supporters of one another.
Yes, we are.
We do.
I did.
And while I'm speaking on everything else, if you need a new home for the new year,
come on.
Oh yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
Follow me on all social media platforms. Kanitha Paris, your realtor.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, I'll be in looking myself next year. So there you go.
Yes.
I love
it. I love it.
Anything else, Ben? You have anything you want to throw out at us?
Yeah. No, I ain't got
Are you bake cookies? What you got?
Right. I'm like, should I start a business tonight? Make something
Why
up? No. I'm like, for me, I'm gonna tell you something. Like seriously, for me, just in terms of, I think marriage is like a subject, especially in church, that we really don't get into enough. And so that's why, I mean, the movie for me was a blessing, just the opportunity to act around these amazing people, first of all. And everybody, like, they took me in like a brother. Like, I mean, they've been together, like I said, developed a culture, developed a family, been together for so long. We had fun, we joked, bloopers, we got it together, we prayed. But the message that is in marriage. Like, I mean, marriage is still, it's still thriving in the kingdom. Like, marriage can still be successful. And that's what I want people to know, even if you're listening to this right now. Like, I want you to know, marriage can be successful. It's not about you being able to diagnose your spouse, but it's really about you taking personal inventory, right? And trusting God and being able to serve and becoming more and more selfless. That's what's so great about the Holy Spirit. Like, when you got that right couple, when you have the right spouse, we think the right spouse is somebody that laugh at all our jokes. We be having just some great times and all this kind of, but the right spouse will bring out those things that are way down deep in you, right? That'll have them things to surface, those character issues that'll surface so that they can finally get ministered to, you know? So marriage, yeah, it's not going to be the easiest thing all the time, but the commitment to it, the fact that it's a 3-chord band, it's the Lord that's going to be in it with you, right? And you just becoming more and more selfless so you can learn how to love. That's why it's so important to have a personal relationship. If anybody's listening, because we think we know how to come into a relationship and love, but it's really self-serving. The moment I don't like something that you do, I'm ready to get rid of you. I got a problem with you. But I'm telling you, that relationship with God, and you see all the stuff he put up with while we acting like a fool, it teaches you how to love. So that's what this whole film just spoke to me, man. Just like really taking personal inventory and really championing marriage. Like, you don't have to get rid of that person too fast. Hold on. Go to the prayer closet real quick.
Hey, Benjamin, you got Titus Reed out here saying that's good, bro. You gonna get a Benjamin chant going
Hey, come on, man.
here.
Hey, that's big bro right there.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was Susan's husband.
Yep, right.
Oh, the cheetah.
Hey, let me see if I can do his line. Hold on. He's like, you don't dress like this at home? She come up here looking all good. Hey, that was my favorite little part.
Linebacker.
that was great. That was great.
You don't dress like this. She don't dress like this at the crib.
It was arguing.
Great.
Yes.
I loved it. That's my guy.
Love it.
But
Love it.
yes, even, I mean, this movie, man, even the title alone, I mean, initially when you see it, A New Husband for Christmas, I love how y'all do that, because it's almost like,
Like, well,
can I say, I don't want to say persuasion, because, you know, we definitely not operating out of no kind of witchcraft or anything, but it's the way it's presented. Somebody could perceive it one way, but then once they get in there, they'll be like, oh wait, hold on,
come on.
oh. And I love that. I was like, okay, like a new husband. Oh, you want a new husband, huh? Okay. Fresh and new.
You got him.
That's right.
Okay, so real quick, I don't know, Kenitha. I had mentioned this earlier before we went live, and I don't know if you could say something or not. But so KMW, is there something else on the horizon we need to be out looking out for the viewers? Oh, for me?
Right? You should absolutely look for more projects from KMW.
All
Please
right.
follow our page on all social media platforms, KMW Productions LLC. We are here to stay.
Well,
How
Nice.
smart was that response? How smart was that? That was so much wisdom.
diplomatic. I can appreciate that. Oh, and one more time, just a brief synopsis for those that probably are joining late, and just so we can just make sure that's clear and concise. What is the purpose of KMW Productions?
KMW Productions, our purpose is to bring hope to sometimes what seems like hopeless situation in our lives. Things that we face, things that we have to endure can sometimes look hopeless, you know, but to remind us that first, the beginning and the end should be our relationship with Christ. And with our relationship with Christ, coupled with, you know, people that, you know, he places in our lives, you know, from one season to the next, to bring us hope and to remind us that he has us on a path. he's given us, you know, each and every one of us purpose and a plan. And the more we strengthen our relationship with him, the more we begin to unfold that plan and that purpose that he has us here, you know, and even as people touch our lives, we're supposed to do the same thing, you know, to pass that on, to pass that hope on, to use the gifts that he's given us to pour hope into the next person. And that's the purpose of KMW, to spread hope through faith-based films, to touch the world, because the world needs that hope today.
Amen.
We are.
And you,
Wow.
you guys definitely display that in this film. And I'm just going to put it up real quick for the audience. So we were critiquing the movie A New Husband for Christmas. We had our assistant director with us, Kenitha Paris, for the film. And then we have Benjamin Jones on. He was actually one of the husbands in the film. You guys need to go ahead and check that movie out. You can watch it on Amazon Prime if you're a Prime member, as well as on Tubi.
Yes.
All right. So it was awesome having you guys
Hey,
on.
Sarah, GTS.
Oh, sorry. We had a delicious time. All right, go ahead.
So guys, what we love to do on the show, we do something called a GTS score, which stands for Got to See It score. And it's pretty much a score 1 through 10. We rate on every movie we do. So I'll start. I'll score 1 to 10. I'm gonna give this one an 11. The reason being is because if you're from St. Louis, you need to watch it. If you're married,
Yes.
you need to watch it. If you're thinking about being married, you need to watch it. And notice I'm not narrowing it down to, you know, if you're Black and married, because I think every marriage goes through at least one of them issues, right? So it's a fantastic counseling session for you and your partner to come together. The reason I give it an 11 is because I'm a huge Marvel nerd. And one of the things that I love about Marvel is the after credit scenes. I stay and watch every movie for the after credit, and I'm let down most all the time if it ain't a Marvel movie. But dadgummit, you guys wrapped
We
it on
came
there with
through.
the after credit scene.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
We had you, Sean. We had you.
I see. I was like, all right.
That was fantastic. Actually, Kara, in the comments, she had just put that in there. Make sure you all watch the movie until the end of the credits. There's more.
Yeah.
Almost would have missed it. I was doing something. I was like, hold on, there's talking, because you just hear the music going, and I was doing something on my phone. I looked up, wait, there's talking, and I saw that whole apartment scene. I will actually not spoil that one. I'm not going to spoil that for you.
That's
You
right.
guys need to go ahead and watch the film.
Gotta watch it. Gotta
For
watch
that
it.
little treat. at
Gotta
the
watch
end.
Go watch.
Yes, gotta watch it. So my GTS score, I'm gonna top yours, Sean. I'm gonna say infinity. And,
No. Oh.
No.
Me.
yes, out the park. And there was so much fruit and deliverance that came from this movie, and that's why I said infinity. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that you guys could hit all markets, and I think you're going to start to see that as the days continue. As far as your viewership and things like that, you're going to be amazed. And I think you guys already know that, though. But anyway,
Thank you so much.
Yes, there's so much wealth in this film. I mean, if you would almost miss it, but you really can't miss it, if that makes sense, or whatnot. But yeah, so that's my score, Sean. But like I said once before, it was great having you guys with us. Hopefully I'm looking forward to, not only just you, but maybe Kara or whoever else is part of the team. Let's have 10 of us on here. I don't know. No, look, hey, but I definitely support your endeavors. I applaud you on continuing for kingdom advancement.
Absolutely.
And so as far as what your take is concerned, next week we got Christmas coming and New Year. So we are actually going to take a hiatus and come back strong in the new year. Okay, holiday break for the both of us. We got some things we're gonna
Yeah.
try to bring out for you on the new year, if you will. So
That's right.
blessings to you all. We're gonna go ahead and end this broadcast.
That's right.
Thank you all so much
Thank
for
you.
having
It was
us.
a pleasure.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you for this.
Yes, sir.